I'd like to find the solutions to this equation that live on the unit circle that are between 0 and 2 pi. All the algebra you know still works. Tangent squared theta equals 1. I'm just going to interject here. Tangent squared theta means this, or that's not even a theta, is it? That's an alpha, in case you haven't run into that before. That's an alpha, it's not a theta. Means the same thing as tangent theta squared like this. It's just a little bit less confusing to write it with the squared next to the tangent instead of, if you happen to leave out the parentheses and write it this way, then it becomes confusing. Am I squaring the tangent or am I squaring alpha? So we write it like this with the squared up next to the trig function. Tangent squared theta equals 1. You don't have to rewrite it like this or anything. This is just FYI. So we know algebra. What do we do when we have something squared and we don't want it to be squared? I had a geometry student one time say we're going to unsquare it, which is exactly what we're going to do. And the way we unsquare it is by taking its square root. So now I have tangent theta squared, the square root. The squared and the square root are inverses, so I just have tangent, still not a theta, tangent alpha, equals. When I take the square root of 1, we're going to realize that we don't know. That could have been positive 1 squared, or it could have been negative 1 squared, and we have to consider both of those possibilities when you take the square root there. So I'm looking for all the places between 0 and 2 pi where the tangent value is equal to 1. In quadrant 1, that happens at pi over 4. Since I have both positive and negative 1 here, I'm going to want all of the multiples of pi over 4 on the unit circle. So my values of alpha, pi over 4 in quadrant 1. The tangent of pi over 4 is positive 1. In quadrant 2, tangent of 3 pi over 4 is negative 1, but we want those. In quadrant 3, tangent of 5 pi over 4 is positive 1. And in quadrant 4, tangent 7 pi over 4 is negative 1. So all of those fit the description of tangent squared alpha equals 1. So we have 4 solutions to this equation.